Hello, welcome everyone to this introductory lecture series of Python. In this series, we will discuss about some of the basic concepts of Python programming language. This is the first lecture in this series. Let's see what's today's agenda. In today's class, we will have a look at some basic introduction about the Python programming language. Then we will see how to install Python in our computer. We will also see how to install an IDE, that is Integrated Development Environment, on our system, how to use it. Then we have a quick look about some of the basic concepts of Python programming language. Then we will execute some of the programs in Python. So let's start. When we talk about Python, first and the foremost thing that comes to in our mind is what is Python? So Python is a high-level, object-oriented, dynamic programming language. This language was created by Guido van Rossum in the year 1991 with two simple goals in his mind. The code should look easy and it should be readable and open source. As per a survey conducted by Stack Overflow in year 2018, Python is ranked as the third most prominent language, followed by JavaScript and Java. This shows that the number of users currently using Python is very huge. So these many number of people are using Python, it made it so popular. So what are the reasons of this Python is being so popular? So there are some of the reasons. Python is an language that use interpreter, means it is called as an interpreted high level programming language which use concepts of object orientation. This makes Python very attractive for rapid application development. The syntax of Python is very simple and easy to learn. It supports various modules and packages that will help us to solve complex problems in a very easy manner. And the length of code in Python is comparatively very small as compared to code written in other programming language. We can say that there is a transition of a programmer which is very frustrated in writing code in any other language to a happy programmer writing code in Python. So it is a transition from a frustrated programmer to a happy programmer. There are various features of Python. The first and the foremost feature is simplicity. We should think less about the syntax of the language and we should concentrate more about the coding and the logic of our code. Second is open source. As we all know that the Python is an open source programming language. It is free for all. We can use it and alter it as per our need and requirement. Third is portability. Python code can be shared and it would work the same way it has intended to. That is seamless and hassle-free. There are huge amount of libraries available in Python. These libraries can be used for web development, for machine learning purpose, and so many applications as we will see in the next slide. And last but not the least, object orientation. Object helps breaking down the complex real-life problem into such that they can be coded and solved to obtain solution. So these are various features of Python programming language. Now we will see about various applications of Python language. So some of the applications are artificial intelligence, desktop application. It is used for creating automation. It is used in the web development field, data science, and machine learning. These are the various application area of Python programming language. Now we will see how to install Python on our computer. To install Python on our computer system, we need to download Python from the mentioned link and install it on our computer system. But we have to make sure that we are downloading the latest version of Python, that is 3.8.2. Also, we have to keep in mind that we download the executable file that is supported by our system. Like if we are using a 32-bit system, then the executable file should be of 32-bit, and if we are using a 64-bit system, then the executable file should be of 64-bit. After installation of Python, we need to install the IDE, Integrated Development Environment, on our system. For installing the IDE, we need to click on this following link and then download the Anaconda IDE from the link. Again, we have to make sure that we have to download the Anaconda for the Python version 3.7 or 3.8.2. After downloading the IDE version, you need to double click on that and then follow the instruction and install the IDE on your computer system. After installing of Python and Anaconda Navigator, we need to open Anaconda Navigator from the menu option. The front end of Anaconda Navigator will look like this as shown on your screen. Here we will have to choose Jupyter Notebook as our IDE. In this whole series, we will be using Jupyter Notebook as our IDE. So we have to click on this launch button. As soon as we click on the launch button, the processing starts and the system will open the Jupyter Notebook for us. So this is the Jupyter Notebook front end. Here you can see there are lots of buttons. We have various folders here which shows the directory structures. Here we can save our Python program files. We can see if there are any terminals running for, if there are any notebooks running for. We can also quit this Jupyter Notebook. We can also log out, or we can also upload, refresh. And if you want to create a new file for Python program, we have to click on this new and then select Python. As soon as you click on this Python, a new window will open up with this file, and as you can see, it is mentioned here untitled 7. This is name of the file, and Python Jupyter Notebook uses checkpoints for recovery purpose. So it is also showing the last checkpoint duration. It is a few seconds ago. There are various tabs here. It is file, edit, view, insert, cell, kernel, widget, help. These are self-explanatory. There are various number of cells here in which we have to write our code. We have different number of buttons here. It is for save and checkpoint. It is for running, etc., etc. We'll see this later as we move on in our lecture series. So this is the whole interface where we have to write our program code. Without wasting any further time, let's start with the basic program, which is printing of hello world on the screen. To print hello world on the screen, we just have to write print followed by a bracket, and in this bracket, in the double quotes, we have to write hello world. After this, we have to click on this run button. When you click on this run button, this particular cells get executed and you'll get the output below it. As you can see, we have not used any kind of semicolon in this line as we are using it in other programming languages like C, C++, Java. So there is no need of writing any semicolon specifying the end of line in Python programming language. So this is our first program of printing hello world in Python. So here is our first program. Hello world is a simple program that outputs hello world on the screen. We have to just write print and in bracket and in double quotes hello world. This will get printed on the screen. This is the output of the screen as I had shown you on the Jupyter Notebook itself. Now we're going to study about some of the basic concepts of Python. So first and the foremost is keywords. Keywords are reserved words. Keywords are nothing but special names that are already present in any language or in Python. We can use these keywords to specify a functionality while writing a program, while writing a Python program or a program. The syntax for getting the list of keyword is simple. We have to import the keyword and then we have to show the keyword dot kew list. Let's see how this works in Jupyter Notebook. So here we have to first import keyword, then we have to write keyword dot kw list. Then we have to click run. As you click on this run button, you can see the list of keywords available in Python is showing as an output here. There is also a different way of executing a program. Either of pressing this run button each and every time, you can press shift and enter to run a particular code. As soon as you press shift and enter, the particular cell will get executed. So these are the list of different keywords available in Python language. Now moving on to identifiers. Identifiers are user-defined name that we use to represent variable, class, function, modules, and etc. etc. So the basic syntax for creating a identifier is we have to write the name in double quotes, single quotes, and then we can directly use it. So There is a here we have created an identifier or a name. Next, moving on to Python variables. Variables are nothing but reserved memory location to store values. This means that when you create a variable, you reserve some space in memory for that particular variable. In Python, there is no need of declaring variable before using it. Whenever you want to use a particular variable, you just initialize it and you can directly use it. Like for example, we have different kind of syntax. Here we have s is equals to 3.14 and we have s is equals to hello world and we have s is equals to 10. These are three different type of variables. One storing float type of value, second storing and string type of value, and third storing integer type of value, and then we are printing these different values. Let's see how this will work in Jupyter Notebook. So we have s is equals to 10.5454 and then we are printing s. Shift enter, we get 10.54 and we have s is equals to hello world and then we are printing s and we run it, we get hello world. We have s is equals to 10 and then we will print s, the output will be 10. So these are different type of variables creation and printing that the value of that particular variable. Now let's see what are comments. Comments are program foreign statement that describe what a block of code means. These are very useful while writing large codes. These are the line of codes which will not get executed while your program is getting executed. So if you want to create a comment in Python, you simply have to use hash for it. Writing hash before a particular line makes this particular line comment and it will not get executed while you are executing a particular code. Let's see how this works in Jupyter Notebook. Okay, so here we are creating a comment with the help of hash and we are writing this is a comment. Then we are taking a variable s and in this variable s I am storing hello IFTM. After this I am printing s. It will show hello IFTM. So as shown, this is the comment line is not being executed by the interpreter in this language. You can also have multi-line comments by writing hash in front of every line. Then each of this particular line will not get executed. There is also one special kind of comment in Python. If you are creating any string and you are not assigning that particular string to a particular variable, then that will act as a comment and it will not get executed. Means undefined strings will be treated as comment in Python programming language. Next is Python data types. Data types define the operation possible on the variable and the storage method. There are various type of data types in Python. So we're going to have a look on that. So some of the basic data types are integer, float, complex, boolean, string. We have some special data types which contains heterogeneous elements like list, tuples, sets and dictionary. So let's study these one by one. So we have integer. Integer holds the integer value, that is all the positive and negative whole numbers. For example, 10, 15, 20, 30. Float holds the real number that are represented with the help of a decimal, like 10.24, 5.36, etc. etc. Boolean are decisive data types. It will contain only true or false. Complex is a special type of data type available in Python. It will store the complex number like 3 plus 5i, 5 plus 8i, but here I is represented with the help of j. So let's see how these different type of data types works in Jupyter Notebook. Okay, here we are creating a variable s with the value 15, and whenever I write type of s, it will show it is a integer type. If I write s is equal to 18.87 and after that I write type of S, it will show it is a float type. If I declare S as any string type like hello, and I type of S, it will show string type. If I write S is equal to true, and type of S will be bool type, that is again a boolean value, true or false. And let's write a complex number now. S is equals to 5 plus 4j. As I already mentioned, here I is represented with the help of j, and after that I write type of S. I'll get the output as complex. These are different type of data types available in Python programming language. These are some of the basic data types available in Python programming language. We'll see again some of the complex data types, like some of the heterogeneous data types like list, tuple, dictionary. Okay. So these are some of the basic data types. Rest of the data types we will discuss it in our next lecture. Thank you very much. If you have any comment or any suggestion or any question, you can drop me your comment or suggestion or any question in the comment section. Thank you very much.